What up, Tube? What are we doing today? Right before game day on a Sunday, we are going to go through the basic steps of how we attack vacuuming a car. First of all, let's get into the garage. It's an overcast day, but it's nice. A little bit of humidity, not too bad. It's about 68 degrees today, so I can't complain. But we're going to the garage. I'm going to show you the vacuum equipment. Right, in the first video of our Detailing 101, we kind of grazed over the vacuum. This is our vacuum of choice. This is a compact, so when we do our weekend warrior detailing jobs, this is nice because it doesn't take up a lot of room in our mobile detailing rig, which is our Tucson. So it's very strong. It's got 5 peak horsepower. It's got a 4-gallon capacity. I clean this out about once a week. Now, not everybody has an air tank, but this just undoes there. You lift this up, it exposes the filter. The motor's right here, and you just take the bottom part, which is this side, and you dump it in the trash can. You can use a brush to brush out the heavy stuff off the filter. If you do that, wear a mask. There's just a lot of dust particles. You don't want to inhale that. A lot of it is stuff you picked up from other vehicles or your own car, which could be bad. I change the filter about every 6 months on this guy. It's about $17 at your big box store. Use a authentic filter. And the reason I say that is I have tried the lesser expensive filters off like Amazon, and they tear at the seal, and you don't want that because you don't want that stuff getting into the motor. So that being said, I also blow out the filter with my air gun, but I have an air tank. If you don't have that, just use a brush, get some of the heavy particles out of the filter element, and that keeps your machine clean and the life of the motor so it doesn't work so hard, and your filter lasts a little bit longer if you're using it actively. The attachments that came with it, this little guy, which we use a lot, okay, that comes stock with this, and I'll put a link in the description. We do have a link of all the stuff we're using, and those links do help us out just a tiny bit, but every little bit helps, so we'll keep going through that. We bought this guy, and all this we bought it through Amazon or the big box stores, but this is a really good tool. It's a narrow tool that fits in between the crevices of the seats in the small areas. So it's long, it can get in there, and you want to be able to pick up all the trash between the seats. This is an attachment you have to buy through Buff Bright. This is their eel attachment with the little teeth. This helps picks up any sand, pet hair, human hair, whatever might be stuck in the fabric of the carpet. This really helps grab it and suck it up. This attaches to your hose. It comes with about a 30-foot extension cord on it. Obviously, I carry extension cords because it's not always that close. And this is the industrial, very flexible hose. As you can see, this thing just kind of whips around and does whatever it wants. But this is a good upgrade for if you're doing this a lot. If you're just a weekend guy that's doing it on your own personal vehicles, the stock hose that comes with this works. It's a black hose. It's not very flexible, but it'll work around the house for you. This one right here, we upgraded to because it's easier to carry. It is a lot more flexible, and when we're using it on the weekends when we're doing our jobs, this becomes a lot easier to work with. This attaches to the vacuum side, which you'll see in a minute, and this has your attachments. All right, from that, let's go to the car. All right, quick inspection of the vehicle. Fortunately, we don't clean this as often as I'd like to. Kind of is the last one that gets touched, even after the Elantra over there. But you have some dust in here that can be picked up by the vacuum, and you'll see all that, and I'll show you how to easily attack that. And you get some stuck in the crevices over there, and a little simple detailing brush will help get all this out really quick. What we're going to do, and I'm not going to show it because we did it on the last one, is we're going to take our microfiber cloth with our cleaning spray, and all-purpose cleaner, and we're going to wipe down the dash, wipe down these crevices so we get all the dust off of here, and that allows everything to come down to the floor. So anything from here will go here. That way we vacuum at the end. Now there's times where it's really bad and this is super sandy or just got a lot of junk in it in someone's vehicle. I'm going to vacuum that first just to get the heavy stuff off on the floor, then dust off, then come one more time, and we'll go through that. First off, we got a floor mat. We took it out. Let's go clean it real quick. Just like the last video, all-purpose cleaner, our drill brush, and a hose. Let's get it. No, we rinse. Set it off to the side. Ain't no sun today, but let's get to that vacuum. All right, like in the previous video, when you're dusting through the instrument panel and the dash, you want to go from top to bottom. Everything goes down when it falls. So that way when you go to vacuum it, you're vacuuming it all up. Now we're going to start also vacuuming in this area. Now this area is pretty bad with dust and crumbs and stuff. So, like right here, for example. Okay, I can move that around. And this brush is moving this around. So we can probably get most of this with the vacuum. Obviously, normally I would take all the coins out. Actually, I'm going to take all the coins out. We're going to vacuum all that up. Vacuum's on. Let's get it. So this little plastic piece that was in there, that comes off. So you can clean that with your just APC or something lighter. Now we're going to vacuum in there. Alright, it didn't pick up everything because some of the stuff, especially like there, is grimed in. So we're gonna just gonna use a detail spray because that's what I have here. We're gonna spray in there. We're gonna spray here. You can use an all-purpose cleaner as well. I think this stuff will come loose with this brush and some detail spray. And if anything, I might have to go in and use my what's a doodle, good old handy toothbrush, which is sitting right here. So what I am going to do, because the toothbrush bristles are actually a little stiffer, I'm going to go through and loosen all that up. Okay, and there we go. You can see it loosening it up. Get all the corners. Then we'll just mop some of this up, which will mop up nice and easy. And what doesn't fall to the floor when you're mopping it, you hit it with a vacuum one more time. So we made one more pass with the toothbrush. There was some crumbs and stuff stuck in there. We're going to loosen that up. Hit it one more time with that good old vacuum. And you can mop up the rest with your towel. Just come in and mop it up really quick. If this dirt is much worse, use an all-purpose cleaner. We're going to go in, do this area, get the coins, put them back where they came from, in this little cubby right here. And then vacuum that out real quick. That gives you a quick idea. The main thing is the floor and the seats. That's what everybody wants to see vacuumed out, right? So, I took the attachment off. You got a nice circle. Shapes glass right there. It gets into these corners a little better, cleans that up really easy. Let's get to the floor. Before we hit the floor, we're gonna vacuum in here and there. You could suck up straw wrappers, that's not gonna hurt this vacuum. This attachment works great to get in these crevices in here and here and in here. Now, again, top to bottom, we're going to do the seat first with that attachment and then work our way there. Now, we're going to use that same brush to get in the crevices of the upholstery. All right, so we're going to get the brush and we're going to get into all these seams in the upholstery on your seat. And that helps get all the little goobers that get stuck in there out. Then we'll just take our normal attachment and vacuum around the seams and across, and then we go to the floor. This helps get all this trapped dirt out of the crevices and into the center. Makes it a lot easier to pick up because it's not stuck in between the upholstery and the plastic. Now sometimes I gotta go in here with the drill brush because it gets really dirty, but for the most part, see, the stiffer bristles of the toothbrush will get all that dirt out of there. Couple other areas you want to use the brush is get it out of here. It just makes it easier to lift up. Again, all these crevices, loosen it up, loosen it up. You want to make sure, well, I guess we all have our own style, but if you're gonna do this, and you don't have to do this all the time. Heck, I haven't vacuumed this car in a couple months, and this is our wifey's daily driver. Drives into San Antonio every week, a few times a week. There we go. So we track stuff in. We also use it on the weekends to go detail vehicles. Now that you've done that, let's get the vacuum. If you watch my technique, I tilt it up ever so slightly and I'm scraping. Okay, this allows to get stuff off. This is a harder plastic. The Buff Bright is a rubber teeth and that wears down. And we're trying to be efficient. The longer extension allows you to really get into here. And again, this side technique that I use is to help bring stuff up and use the hard plastic to scoop up anything you might have missed with the brush. But the brush really helps loosen it up, make the job go faster. Let's get that vacuum. Use the edge of that to scrape if you need to in that crevice, and then go in here and you go through here and you can see the angle of this. There we go. This little scraper allows you to get pieces like this lint here and just really just pull all this stuff up. Now this works a lot better on pet hair, and I'm not putting a lot of pressure on this at all. I'm letting the tool just kind of scrape along the top to lift some of this up, and you see how it just kind of moves it. Not the greatest example because we don't have a lot of pet hair. The dogs don't travel in here. But it gives you an example of how that works. Now, the Buff Bright attachment with the teeth allows you to do that a little bit the same. This is more, the scraper is more for aggressive, heavy pet hair. It's going to save you a lot of time combined with the Buff Bright. Now, the Buff Bright, these little teeth are rubber. They wear out. This tool is not cheap. Is it worth it? Heck yeah, it is. If you do this often, you're going to want to use this. You don't have to buy it, but we get some pretty challenging vehicles. So we like to use both tools combined. This really allows you to scrape the upholstery or the carpet, and as it's scraping, it's sucking it up into the vacuum. You can see how that's working. Nice and easy, not a lot of pressure. Just allow it to scrape along the top. So for upholstery, or in this situation, it's like a felt carpet that's got a lot of these goobers in them. This works great. If I had more pet hair, that would be an awesome first complimentary tool before I went over it with that guy. All right, that's all done. Threw in that little scraper Buff Bright part at the very end there. I hope you all get an idea. Vacuuming is not difficult. Most people have done it at some point in their life. And if you don't have the detailing brush, you can use a small, really inexpensive paintbrush from a big box store. Toothbrush, that's from the Dollar General, Dollar Tree, inexpensive pack of toothbrushes. They work great. And you don't even need to use a shop vac like we have. You can just use a vacuum at your local spray and wash, that you pay $1.25 to use, and still take those with you and really get your car clean even with those vacuums. If you have a shop vac, that works great. You can, if it's something you do often, at your house and you want to maintain your vehicles, that's why we're here to try to show you some of the tips we use. And there's many other ways to do it. And again, it's not that difficult. Don't be afraid to try it out. Don't be afraid to get in and clean your vehicles. Keep them nice. It's time to go watch some football. Have a great week. God bless.